Now we are entering week 3 of Leo season. This is from August 8th to August 14th. And the highlight of the week for me was to go to August 11th. And this is the full moon in Aquarius. So this means that the sun is in Leo, the moon is in Aquarius. They're exactly opposite each other. This is the time of werewolves. Woo! This is where we howl at the moon. This can be some pretty fun energy. This is definitely some very expressive energy. So, knowing this in advance, you get to decide, how do I want to express this energy? How do I want to put myself out there? The interesting piece is, of course, that Saturn is involved in this full moon directly. It's the first thing we'll look at. Saturn is what we call conjunct the moon in Aquarius, opposite the moon in Leo. So as I've talked about in other videos, Saturn is a constrictive energy. It is a constraining energy. It creates boundaries around two signs that don't love boundaries. Well, they like boundaries, but only if they create them themselves, by the way. So how do we use this energy? This is some energy that is, it is kind of wherever your focus goes, your energy is going to flow. There's a lot of Saturn tends to also rule, like, where am I putting my energy? Like, how am I going to do this? So the good news is it can create a little bit of consolidation of crazy full moon energy. So it might keep you, it might keep you from doing some things that are really out of bounds, while still being able to have fun. It can, it can create this whole kind of this, like, hold on a second, let's think about that. Do you really want to jump off that cliff without a rope? Those kind of, or a parachute, those kinds of things. The other piece is that we actually have what is called a tension square in the chart. And so we've got this, you can see this 90-degree line over here. This is called an opposition here, and this is called a square. So we've got two squares and an opposition, which is called a tension square. And this is emanating from, again, this North Node in Uranus. And now Mars has moved a little bit beyond, but it's still in play. So we're still talking about this stellium in Taurus energy of, that, like, what is it that I'm trying to create? What is it that I'm trying to do different? How am I expressing this pent up, like, energy that's been building inside me for 53 years or 5 weeks or 3 days or whatever it is, or 30 seconds. But it's literally ultimately, like, again, this Taurus stellium of fate energy. Like, what am I fate to move towards? What is my fate that has a lot of rapid changes and excitement and enthusiasm and, impulsiveness and courage and confidence? Where is that energy going? What does my body want me to do with that energy? So that's the high side of it. And then what's happening, though, is it's squaring the sun in Leo, and it's squaring the moon in Aquarius, and also Saturn. And so when we have a tension square like this, we often look to the other side of what is the release point, is what we call it. Where is the, like, if you think about a pressure cooker, if we had a pressure cooker, what would be the, what would release the steam really healthfully before the top blows off and your rice goes everywhere? So what we look to, it goes towards the sign of Scorpio, or more importantly, the element of water. So again, like I talked about in the last video, one of the ways to release this pressure cooker of not maybe having all your ducks in a row of how you want to express your energy, get in the water, drink the water, get around water, do something with water, take a shower, take a bath. I don't care if it's a cold bath, hot bath, whatever it is, depending on your heat in your area. Get in the ocean, get in a lake, get in a stream, get in a pond, get in a river. This energy, the way, if you can feel that built up energy coming and you can't feel a way to be able to express it really healthfully, do something with water. Because what Scorpio is really asking us to do is to take a moment to get deep, to get into what is it that I really want, like to get down into the meat of it, and to get down into the dungeon of your body and of your soul and be like, this is what my psyche wants right now. This is what I want to do. But it needs a moment. And Scorpio can be a little bit slower. And again, it's water. So it needs that reflective time to be able to put that energy together to be able to express it most healthfully. So again, with a full moon, Leo is not a month to be like asleep for. This month, not a good time to just go to sleep and unconscious. This is a time to really be paying attention for two reasons. One is because there's a lot of feisty energy, and two, because there's a lot of momentum energy. So where is it you want to put your momentum? Where is it you want to put your get up and go? What does this mean for all of you? Other energy, again, we've got Mars in this chart is in a trine relationship with Pluto. So they're in the earth signs. So this is where we could really have some focus. This is some symbiotic energy. This is some alignment energy. Pluto looks at wherever my focus goes, energy flows, and Mars has the momentum and the oomph behind it. So if we can get together on that energy of like where we want to put it, then there's a lot of support in that, like ground it and go kind of energy. But it could, at its worst, it can be like a Tasmanian devil. So for those of you who remember Wile E. Coyote and the Tasmanian devil of cartoons of the old days. The other thing that we have to watch here is Venus right before she sneaks into Leo, which she does on August 11th. The few days prior to that, remember, this is, again, that August 7th and 8th energy through August 14th. Venus at the very tail end of Cancer, opposite Pluto. So let's look at the day before. Opposite Pluto in Capricorn. And this is some sensitive energy. This may be some energy that could have to do with some traditions in your life. It could have to do with some old patterns. It could have to do with some old relationships. It with the full moon energy that is coming after Venus goes opposite Pluto. It could be really looking at some relationships that aren't really serving you. It could be being like, why am I holding on to this relationship that isn't really in alignment with where I am now? And it's okay. And, my feelings are hurt and I wish I could move on, but there's just no way to keep this. We're just not in the same place. I always like to think of vibration, like when one note's vibrating over here and the other note's vibrating over here, and they're just not vibrating at the same pace. This can be that kind of energy. And so to just notice it, mourn it if need be, grieve it, and then allow this energy to move through, because it's asking you to transform a sensitivity within you. So, and then it goes into this full moon energy of like more air and fire and this outgoing energy, and, being able to really respect your own identity and your own will enough to be able to be like, that's cool. I wish you well. And I'm going to go this direction and you go that direction. And I wish you well on your journey. That would be the high side of being able to do this. Because as Venus moves into Leo, she really likes this placement of being able to express her energy and being able to be creative about it, and to be able to wear wigs and to dress up and to go out and to have fun. This is some energy that really, flows into that being more playful and it's very playful energy. So again, as you're coming into the end of the summer and maybe, finishing up some vacations or spending time with friends and just really bringing back in the joy, a different kind of joy. Venus in Cancer could have spent some time with a little bit of like sadness or some more emotions that were a little bit trickier. Venus in Leo is going to have to watch their fieriness, their feistiness, their mouth, their overindulgence potentially. But on the other hand, it can just be really fun, some fun energy. So being able to use this energy to have some fun, to be able to like also release this pressure valve of, going back to this tension square of the full moon and this energy of the stellium that's really been in play since the middle of July and into, almost all of Leo season until Mars goes into Gemini. So I hope this is helpful, and a good way, giving you some good tools to be able to find your release in the week. And I'll see you next week.